Well, summer's almost over and another school year is here, making it perfectly clear that this one, just like the last one, is gonna be a perfectly beautiful year.
Pizza Hut knows the best pizza
is one that's delivered on time.
So we're making big changes around here.
We've added more people to take your order.
And we've retrained our crews to serve you better.
We are moving in here.
Your pizza will be delivered when we say it will.
And if your pizza isn't delivered within 5 minutes of when we promise,
your next Pizza Hut pizza is free.
Free?
Free.
Guaranteed.
Why trust anyone else to deliver your pizza?
Call now and get a large one-topping stuffed crust pizza for only $9.99. Put Pizza Hut to the test.
Tonight, Tuesday, August 20th, 2002, West Nile worries. More spraying and more cases. The youngest victim, just 2 years old. The Amber Alert pays off. A missing girl found far from home. Forget marriage. More women in Chicago are single and loving it. And a local boy's American dreams.
I'm not happy when I try to fake it.
The fans may have booted him, but he's not sitting idle. This is Fox News. Tonight, only news at 9.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Nancy Pender. Robin Robinson is off tonight.
I'm Walter Jacobson, and we begin with a breaking story. Chicago police confirming they are investigating a threat on the life of Mayor Daley. Fox News has learned that the threat was made today, and the police are telling us now that it came from New York City and is being investigated as a threat on a public official. The police will not say what the threat is or whether it came over the telephone, through the mail, or by email. Once again, Chicago police confirming they are investigating a threat made on the life of Mayor Daley. We're continuing to gather information on the story, and we'll have more of it as we get it.
Our other top story tonight, more cases of the West Nile virus in Illinois. State health officials are saying that 7 more people have been infected with the virus. 6 of them are in the Chicago area, and that includes a 2-year-old boy. Our Lilia Chacon is in the newsroom with that story. Lil.
Nancy, it could be that we were getting a break from all that dry weather, but these latest rains brought out the mosquitoes, and the mosquitoes are spreading West Nile disease faster than anyone expected. The total number of West Nile cases statewide is 16, and that includes 1 fatality. State health officials are working overtime to count and counter the spread of West Nile disease.
West Nile is here. It's a reality. It is a mosquito-borne illness.
The mosquito-borne illness has claimed 7 new victims. They include a 2-year-old Chicago boy hospitalized August 14th, a 44-year-old Chicago man whose condition is unavailable, a 70-year-old man from Southern Cook County hospitalized in critical condition, a 59-year-old man from Southern Cook County who remains hospitalized, an 85-year-old woman from Northern Cook County hospitalized with West Nile encephalitis, a 60-year-old woman from Southern Cook County who was hospitalized for 5 days and released, and a 41-year-old man from Sangamon County who was hospitalized, treated, and released. Health experts say there are 2 ways to fight the mosquito-borne illness: where they breed and where they bite. Experts recommend a bug repellent containing DEET, or diethylmetatoluamide as it's known in scientific circles. Today, the city of Chicago began expanded spraying in ponds and culverts to kill off the mosquito larvae before they develop into biting adults. They're spraying Vectilex, a biological agent that attacks the mosquito larvae but doesn't harm humans or other beneficial bugs.
So far, the number of biting adult mosquitoes has been low. We're starting to see them pick up.
Now, some health officials think it's time to start going after the grown-up mosquitoes as well. But some people are opposed to insecticide fogging because it can trigger respiratory reactions in sensitive individuals.
Fogging will reduce the adult population for a couple of days. It is a very important tool. They did studies in New York City after the West Nile episode in 1999, and when there is a large amount of West Nile activity like we're seeing, the risk of fogging is less than the risk of West Nile disease.
Now, health officials are re-emphasizing that with the recent rains, it's more important than ever to check your yards and gutters for any standing water. The mosquito that breeds there could grow up to bite you. And minimize the chances of being bitten by staying inside at dawn and dusk. Those are peak mosquito biting times. Nancy, back to you.
All right, Lilia, thank you. Meanwhile, another death is being reported from the West Nile. An 84-year-old man in Kentucky has died from the disease. That brings the total number of deaths nationwide to 12. And that total could rise. Authorities in Missouri and Texas are awaiting confirmation that 2 women who died last week may have had the virus. 251 human cases have been diagnosed nationwide, spanning 11 states and the District of Columbia. If you have questions about West Nile virus and how to stop its spread, you can email them at this address, foxnewsam@fox.com. Our medical expert will be on hand to answer them tomorrow on Fox News in the Morning, starting at 7 o'clock.
On the south side of Chicago tonight, a store owner is dead, having been shot in the head during a robbery. Craig Wall is live at Area 2 headquarters with that story.
Walter, the victim in this case is a 42-year-old Jordanian father of 3 who survived 6 gunshots in a robbery back in 1988. But tonight, robbers shot him twice in the head, killing him in his store.
We did every possible thing in the community. And now we lost our own youngest brother. This is the result. This is the result. We got it. Come here.
Out in anger, frustration, and emotional turmoil at the death of 42-year-old Farah Frank Tadros. He'd taken over the store on East 83rd about 3 months ago and was gunned down in a brazen daytime stick-up. Tadros had a gun with him behind the counter for safety, according to relatives, when 3 black male suspects walked in and demanded money around 4 p.m. Perhaps frustrated by 3 break-ins in the last 2 months, Tadros exchanged gunfire with the suspects, 2 of whom police say were armed. Tadros was fatally shot in the process. Police have surveillance video of the robbery. Relatives say Tadros' wife and 3 young sons are vacationing back in Jordan and don't even know yet.
He's a loving man. He's got 3 young kids now. We have to look out for him.
The oldest kid's 5 years old. The oldest kid's 5, and the youngest 1 year old.
1-year-old kid. He's going to grow up with no father. You believe that? I mean, come on.
The guys he tried to make his living. This is the result for him. This is a shame. It is a shame.
The owner did get some shots fired, is that right?
Yes, he did. He managed to get off some rounds. How many, I do not know. Because we do think that the offender was wounded. We've had a blood trail, and that's why our crime scene is so extensive.
Now, police say the suspects fled eastbound on 83rd, leaving a trail of blood behind. They jumped into a waiting car in a nearby alley and fled the scene. Police say with all this, they got no money. Now, Tadros of Oak Lawn had an extensive family, 8 brothers, we believe as many as 5 sisters. He came to Chicago from Jordan back in 1970, and he ran grocery and liquor stores with his brothers until taking over the store on East 83rd just 3 months ago. Now, police are looking for 3 black male suspects, and they say they do have videotape of the robbery. Live at Area 2 Police Headquarters, Craig Wall, Fox News Chicago.
Craig, thank you. A passenger on a flight from Chicago has been arrested after authorities say that he tried to light a battery on fire. American Airlines Flight 871 was headed from Chicago to San Francisco this afternoon when it was diverted to Salt Lake City, Utah. A flight attendant says that she saw the man trying to recharge a battery with a lighter. The plane was evacuated but eventually continued on to San Francisco. No one was hurt.
In Des Plaines tonight, residents are lining up to debate whether a casino should move to their town. The city council is expected to vote on whether to roll the dice and apply for the state's remaining casino license. Dane Placco is live at the Des Plaines City Hall, where he's been listening to the debate. Dane?
And Nancy, this is a rather abrupt turnaround for Des Plaines, which for years has rejected any and all overtures made by developers interested in putting a casino on the land near O'Hare. It's bordered with O'Hare, but now with the Rosemont casino proposal apparently falling apart, it looks like Des Plaines is ready to get in the game.
We believe the opportunity in Des Plaines is as good as Rosemont and greater than any other location.
Chicago developer Neil Bloom outlined his plan tonight to put a casino in Des Plaines that he says would instantly become the most successful gambling vote in Illinois. Residents wearing their emotions on their lapels packed the council chambers, some forced to watch on closed-circuit TV outside. It appears sentiments have changed in Des Plaines, where 8 years ago residents voted overwhelmingly against allowing a casino. But with the Rosemont Riverboat deal falling apart, Des Plaines mayor says it's time to roll the dice on an estimated $25 million in local tax revenues.
It's been overwhelming, at least in the people I've talked to, that they want the casino. I just think that it's a combination probably of the economic times. It's probably a lure of maybe jobs.
Developers are focusing on 3 sites, all in the southeast corner of Des Plaines, nearest the airport. On River Road, just north of Devon, where Xerox is now located. At O'Hare Lakes, on Devon, just west of 294, where a large pond sits ready for a riverboat. And on the northeast corner of Mannheim and Higgins, currently home to a McDonald's and a hotel.
As we say in real estate, the most important 3 things are location, location, and location.
With the development needing fast-track approval, this was the only opportunity for residents to express their views.
We all agree very strongly that Des Plaines should positively and vigorously pursue being the host city for the casino.
If somebody wants to gamble, I believe they're going to go to Joliet, or they're going to go to Vegas, or they're going to go to Aurora, or they're going to go anywhere they choose.
Gambling undermines the work ethic that has made this country strong. It encourages idleness instead of initiative.
I would not have bought a house in Des Plaines had there been a casino here.
Now, if the Des Plaines City Council approves the casino proposal tonight, as it is expected to do, the developer will submit that proposal to the Illinois Gaming Board probably within the next 2 months when they begin accepting applications for that very controversial and hard-to-award 10th Illinois gaming license. Live in Des Plaines, Dane Placco, Fox News, Chicago.
Dane, thank you. Jurors in the corruption trial of the Cicero Town President Betty Loren Maltese head into their 9th day of deliberations tomorrow. The jury today reviewed transcripts of a witness who testified 2 months ago. While lawyers were speculating on the significance of that development, Loren Maltese said that other matters were on her mind.
I'll tell you my concerns today. I had a pet 21 years old that I had to put to sleep today, so that's... Right now, that's...
Dog?
Cat.
She and 7 other defendants are accused of defrauding the Cicero taxpayers out of $12 million.
Parishioners at a Catholic church in East Chicago, Indiana, are searching their hearts for forgiveness after a vandal destroyed a statue of the Virgin Mary. Officials say early Saturday morning, someone pushed the statue over at St. Mary's Church, causing the upper half to shatter. The pastor says he will look for a replacement. Police say no arrests have been made.
We're going to be more uncomfortable tomorrow, and we could get some rain on top of it. Rick DeMaio is off, so let's go to Harry Volkman for a first look at our weather.
Well, Walter, you're right. We've had a great day today, but that comfort will kind of disappear as those south winds begin to bring in more heat and humidity from the Gulf of Mexico, our source of storms here. They'll start out with some sun, but let's see what's going to happen. Well, some soaking rain seem likely, and the area will be getting hit during the late afternoon tomorrow, probably, on through Thursday and even into Friday, the way it looks now. And as we take a look at this chart, you see that warm, windy conditions will head into the 80s with those temperatures. There'll be thunderstorms to the north of us in the morning, getting in here in the afternoon. And the weather question tonight that I prepared for you is hot, humid weather and days of late summer are called dog days. And why is that? We'll have the answer to that and a look ahead to the weather for a week a little bit later. Nancy and Walter.
Yeah, Harry, also coming up a little bit later on Fox News Chicago, talk about a diamond in the rough. A local company says it can turn the ashes of the deadly departed into jewelry. I never promised you a rose garden, so how about this little garden instead in a Chicago suburb, freshly planted right outside the window of the mayor for $21,000, charged to the taxpayers. Coming up in Perspective.
Moonlight kisses seem too cool in the warmth of the
And the man from our area who hit the high notes on American Idol, what he's up to now. Mark Saxemeyer talks to him later.
You're watching Fox News, tonight's only news at 9. Acura and Fox Chicago want you to experience the music of Carlos Santana in style. To enter, log on to foxchicago.com and click on this icon. It's your chance to win a Santana autographed guitar and VIP tickets to his Chicago show. Plus, one grand prize winner will receive Santana's San Francisco Getaway. Presented by Acura, you'll travel to the city by the bay and stay in the exclusive Santana Suite at Hotel Triton. Santana's San Francisco Getaway. Brought to you by Acura WXRT and Fox Chicago.
Style is an expression of who you are.
I love the way I dress. It does not matter what anyone says.
Here are my stretchable jogging pants.
I'll get the other ones and you get these.
Shopping at Walmart.
Their clothes are so affordable, casual. Yeah.
Creativity shows that you have individuality. You know what I'm saying? You're being yourself and not trying to be like anybody else.
So this is my shirt. Don't even try.
Fashions change very quickly. You have to keep up or you will be left behind.
Coming up, imagine wearing the remains of a deceased loved one on your finger. A local company's idea when Fox News returns.
Here's to the people in the neighborhood. Here's to our heroes doing so much good.
McDonald's presents the All-American Summer. Get a big and tasty, a big juicy burger with lettuce and tomato for just 99 cents. And as an added bonus, make it a meal by adding medium fries and a medium soft drink for only $2.99.
Here's to the good old USA. Here's to the American way.
Fortunate. Yielding something desirable in an unforeseen manner. The 2002 Honda Clearance. The once-a-year opportunity for special savings on all available Accords. Fortune is smiling on you. The 2002 Honda Clearance. Lucky you. Now you can lease a 2002 Accord LX for $239 a month for 48 months.
A happy ending tonight to a massive search for a 10-year-old girl in Southern California. She has been found unharmed. The case of Nicole Timmons triggered the state's Amber Alert program. She disappeared overnight from her home in the town of Riverside. Police immediately put out her picture and the picture of a former babysitter, 68-year-old Glenn Park. The two were later found near Reno, Nevada.
I don't know how to thank all of you, the police departments, the FBI, the detectives, to wake up in the morning and take the blankets off your child's bed and see empty sheets. This puts you in another world, like you're in a cloud, and the guys were very comforting and they worked very well, very fast.
Glenn Park has been arrested. We have no word yet on what charges, if any, he is about to face.
A black bear has attacked and killed a 5-month-old baby in upstate New York. It happened at a resort in the Catskill Mountains. The tiny victim was vacationing with her family from Brooklyn. The bear snatched the baby out of her stroller and dragged her towards some woods. Other vacationers chased and threw rocks at the bear, but the baby did not survive.
Eyewitness accounts tell us that the bear actually had the baby in its mouth, and when the other residents yelled and screamed at the bear dropped the baby, ran into the woods.
A police officer tracked the bear into the woods and shot it dead. Police believe drought conditions in the Northeast may have sent the bear searching for food outside of the woods.
Now to the race for governor of Illinois. The Democrat Rod Blagojevich has received a key endorsement from the State Fraternal Order of Police. The first time in more than 10 years that the FOP has endorsed a Democratic candidate for governor. But the Republican Party chairman is saying the union endorsed Blagojevich because leaders are afraid of retribution by certain members of the Illinois Assembly.
What kind of a leader is this? This is somebody that some people think ought to be the next governor of Illinois. It's amazing, and I think that even though he's going to outspend us with all this union money he's collected, that the voters are going to figure out who the best governor will be for our state going forward.
Blagojevich also has received the support of the State Firefighters Union.
Leaders in Chicago today outlined the lessons they've learned from the September 11th terrorist attacks. More than a dozen of the city's department heads joined the mayor today at the 911 center to talk about how the city would respond to an emergency. They say they're ready for a major emergency thanks in large part to an improved communication system.
Doing more than 1,000 tests with the city's radio and communication systems. The tests were performed on at least 20 different channels in 16 locations. These tests proved 90% effective.
Unfortunately, there is no guarantee that Chicago will never be a target of terrorism. But today, I want to report to the people of Chicago that we have made great progress in the last year to keep our city secure.
The city has invested nearly $100 million to prepare for the possibility of a terrorist attack. A hostage drama at the Iraqi embassy in Berlin comes to a peaceful end.
That story topping our news briefs tonight. Iraqi rebels took over the embassy this morning, demanding the ouster of Saddam Hussein. 4 people were taken hostage, but commandos eventually stormed the embassy and ended the siege without firing a shot. 5 people are under arrest.
More than 100 people are homeless tonight because of a massive fire at a residential development in San Jose, California. The $500 million project was gutted by the fire. City officials are promising to rebuild the complex.
You saved my life.
And in Massachusetts, an 8-year-old boy is being called a hero for rescuing his 4-year-old neighbor. Little Owen Charlotte fell into a swimming pool and was drowning. His playmate, Zachary Jewett, heard the splash, jumped over a locked gate, reached into the pool, and pulled him to safety. Have you ever been called a diamond in the rough? Well, now a company in suburban Elk Grove Village can help you become the real thing. It's about to start making diamonds from cremated human remains. You could call it a tombstone of sorts, a brilliant blue diamond created from the carbon of cremated remains. It's the brainchild of a company based in suburban Elk Grove Village called LifeGem. 68-year-old Jack French, who's severely ill with emphysema, plans to become one of its first customers.
It's another way of expressing yourself other than leaving a bunch of antiques that sit in, in your living room or your attic or whatever and say, gee whiz, that was Dad's or Grandpa's or whatever.
What the LifeGem company does is harness human carbon during a slowed cremation process and then subject it to the same types of conditions that make natural diamonds. What takes Mother Nature millions of years to create takes LifeGem just 8 weeks.
Have a LifeGem as a set of earrings or on a brooch or a necklace or a ring, or they can have it as a family tree. There's many different ways to display your LifeGem.
For now, the LifeGem certified diamonds are only available in blue, but they'll eventually come in red, yellow, and colorless varieties. And these family jewels don't come cheap. Quarter carats start at $4,000, a full carat $22,000.
You have to pay for your burial and your funeral and all that. So what's the difference?
The difference, says LifeGem, is a more personal remembrance of a loved one that you can always keep close.
To have a memento that I can have with me all the time is better than having something in a bottle on the TV or a mantle.
So our Voice Your Choice tonight, would you want your remains made into a diamond after your death? If your answer is yes, please call 1-900-988-5276. And if your answer is no, call 1-900-988-5277. Each call costs 75 cents. Callers must be over the age of 18, and we'll have the results later in this newscast.
We are continuing to gather information on our breaking story tonight, a threat made on the life of Mayor Daley. We will have specifics coming up.
Also on tonight's Only News at 9, the teenagers who want to divorce their mother. Find out why.
And a question coming up, is there life after American Idol? We'll talk to a young man from a Chicago suburb who is experiencing it firsthand.
But first, a popular herb billed as a memory booster may not work after all. Lauren Cohn has the details next on Fox News. Tonight's Only News at 9.
Walks that way.
You're closer to a Volkswagen than you think. In fact, really, really close.
New from Lancome, Impactive Silkening Moisturizer perfects skin on impact. Impactive from Lancome Paris. Now your gift with a $22.50 Lancome purchase at Carton Peary Scott.
Introducing the KFC 6-piece family value meal for only $7.99. Get 6 pieces of original recipe or extra crispy chicken, 3 home-style sides, and 3 flaky biscuits for only $7.99. Or feed a big family with a KFC 10-piece feast. There's fast food, then there's KFC.
Should we get the leather?
Mr. Dillon? Hey, it's me, Bob from Kia. Bob? You get this free with your test drive. It's awesome. Thanks. See you later.
Get a free copy of The Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring, when you test drive any new Kia and look for the Sorrento coming this fall.
The best part of back to school is going shopping.
I have all the kids together. They all have their lists. Everything is here, all in one place.
Binders, folders, markers, gel pens, crayons. My teacher says I highlight too much. If there's something really, really cool, it's low price, then your mom won't say, no, no. Ooh, this is nice. I have to look good for school. For the first day of school, you just have to have new shoes.
The carts are pretty full, and they'll be ready for the first day.
Yeah, I like this. Sweet.
We now know why some people seem to look more attractive after having a few drinks.
Also, teenagers say it's easy to find marijuana. Lauren Cohn joins us with tonight's Fox Family and Health Report.
I'm just trying to figure out how they got in this clinical trial
They just
in the first
figured
place.
that out?
How come nobody called me for this one? Yeah, we'll get to that one in a minute. But first, teenagers say marijuana is easier to buy than cigarettes or beer. That's according to a national study based on a random phone survey of 1,000 teens. 1 out of 3 teens say they can find pot in a matter of hours, and 1 in 4 admit to smoking it. The study also shows that 63% of students say their schools are drug-free. Half say they never drank alcohol, and 69% say they never smoked cigarettes. If you thought taking ginkgo supplements helped improve your memory, well, think again. A new study suggests ginkgo does nothing to quickly improve memory in healthy people. Early studies suggested supplements made from the leaves of the ginkgo tree could boost mental function, but a recent survey involving 230 people over age 60 showed no difference in memory improvement between those who took ginkgo and those who took a placebo over a 6-week period. Also tonight, there's concern about the growing popularity of all-terrain vehicles. Researchers say more and more children are riding them, and that's causing injury, even death. Back in the 1980s, several models of ATVs were banned by the government, but the ATV craze is back, and only 8 states require users to have a license.
They require a high degree of coordination, muscle strength, mature judgment, and experience for safe operation, and as a result continue to be a severe source of injury for children who are inherently lacking in these skills.
Meantime, about 45,000 ATVs made by Arctic Cat are being recalled. The government says a suspension problem could cause them to flip over. And finally, researchers say it's true. A few drinks really do make the opposite sex appear more attractive. Yeah, there are scientists in Scotland, and they're looking into the so-called beer goggle effect. They studied 120 college students, and guess that they found that up to 4 drinks can increase the visual allure of the opposite sex by about 25%. The researchers say alcohol stimulates a part of the brain that judges facial attractiveness. Just 4. I mean, what about 2?
It just puts everything into a soft focus, that's all.
I know, but you know what? How did they get into this clinical trial? And what kind of school do these scientists have to go to get in that study? I wasn't called.
Can't help you there. Okay. Thank you, Lauren.
More women. Oh, go ahead, Nancy.
More women in Illinois are choosing to stay single. Researchers say more women are waiting longer to marry or not marrying at all for several reasons. Some are living with partners, others find fulfillment in work and a close circle of friends. Still others shy away from marriage or are not content to be single, or are content, I should say, to be single parents. The numbers from the 2000 U.S. Census show that 1/3 of Illinois women aged 25 to 34 have never been married. That's up from 28% back in 1990. Now, among women aged 35 to 44, 15% have never been married. That's up from 11% in 1990. Say a word.
We're about to get a change in the weather. Harry will tell us about it in just a minute.
Also, his voice was good enough to get him on American Idol, but that's only part of the challenge Jim Verhulst has had to overcome. We'll talk to him.
But first, the public debut for 2 new arrivals at the Lincoln Park Zoo. That's next on Fox News Chicago, which is the only news tonight at 9 o'clock.
This portion of Fox Family and Health is brought to you by your Chicagoland Chrysler dealers.
How many reasons do you need to get into a Chrysler minivan? How about 0? Because now for a limited time, you can get 0% financing for 60 months, which could save you up to $6,700 on a 2002 Town & Country or Voyager. Plus, to make this great offer even better, it's backed by the peace of mind of our 770 Powertrain Limited Warranty. So get to your Chrysler dealer today, because with 0% financing and our 770 Limited Warranty, there's no reason not to.
Take advantage of 0.9 APR financing on the tough, capable 2002 Xterra. But hurry, September 3rd is the end of the line. Nissan.
Here they are, the newest arrivals at the Lincoln Park Zoo, 2 African lion cubs born 2 months ago. One of the cubs is named Hubert in honor of the lion associated with Harris Bank, which is the sponsor of the exhibit. The second cub has yet to be named.
Oh, so cute. Boy, if the weather would just stay like this the entire year, we'd have it made. Little rain here and there, but the temperature...
You took the words right out of my mouth. I was going to start that
sorry,
way.
did I steal your thunder?
I can remember one night we said that to John Coughlin. He took the words out of my mouth, and he said, "Oh, how disgusting that is." But anyway, that was John's humor. Remember him? Anyway, let's take a look right now. First, at the weather question. That's what we start off with tonight. The weather question was, hot, humid days of late summer are called dog days. Why is that? Well, the answer is, and I think it'll come up on my screen here, although I don't see it. It's on this screen here. The rising of the dog star, it's called Sirius, that's the start of the dog days from about the middle of July into September. And Sirius is up while the sun is down. And Sirius is the dog star, and I'm not making fun of this. I'm very serious about it. At any rate, let's move away from that bad humor and see what we have today on the almanac. The high today has been 75, and as Nancy pointed out, that's almost a perfect temperature any place in the country or the world for any month of the year, but you can't keep it forever, can you? 81 is the normal high, and we had a 98 in 1947, and a tremendous experiment took place in Chicago on this day. It was a weather experiment. The Chicago Tribune's airplane, the Lodestar, went up to 20,000 feet and seeded clouds over the city, over St. Charles to be exact, and it rained. And it was the only cloud that rained, and so it was said by Mr. Ruth, who was the chief of the Weather Bureau at that time, that the cloud seeding, which chilled the cloud, caused the rain to fall, and the streets were soaked out there. And Bruce Dennis, one of my former bosses, 20 years later, was in the plane. It was the WGN newsman at that time, head of the news department. Anyway, as we take a look at what we have tonight's temperatures, and for 4 hours the computers have been out tonight, so they finally got on just in time for us to do this show. 69 degrees it is, and our breeze is light, coming in from the southeast about 9 miles an hour, and the pressure is rising at 30.14. As we move from that, we see the other temperatures around here at 9 o'clock, 60s and 70s. A nice evening out there, and around the Midwest, readings were like this about an hour ago. And looking at what we have for tomorrow, it's the south wind increasing, and we come up with the increasing humidity and temperature. And although readings will be in the 60s in the morning, by afternoon they'll be well into the 80s, closing in on 90 if we get enough sunshine. And the clouds around the Midwest tonight are broken up, moving off to the southeast. The main ones coming in from the west. I don't see myself on the monitor tonight. It's just dark, but this is the night when everything's out. But let's take a look and see. This is what tests your mettle if you can perform when half the equipment isn't going right. And around the nation, we had some heavy storms along the North Carolina coast today, and they have moved out to sea around Elizabeth City. They had flooding up north at Cape Hatteras. Temperatures around the nation look like this today. It was pretty warm again, of course, in the east, but it's beginning to cool off now. And tonight, with a nearly full moon, we have mostly clear and a 60-degree temperature. Breezes southeast at about 5 to 10. Then for tomorrow, Wednesday, increasing cloudiness slowly. Showers and thunderstorms coming in by late afternoon, continuing into the evening with a high of about 88, winds south 10 to 20. And tomorrow night, lots of rumbling and thunder around here, and that'll probably continue on into Thursday and even Friday, the way it looks now. That'll keep the humidity up, but the temperature from going too high. And then we get into the weekend, it'll be in the 70s, low humidity. It'll be a delightful weekend once again. That's it, Walter and Nancy.
Thank you, Harry.
Okay.
United and American Airlines are asking the city of Chicago to scale back an expansion plan for O'Hare Airport.
That's one of the stories in our advanced copy of tomorrow's Chicago Sun-Times. Both airlines are facing financial problems and have now asked the city to ease up on plans for the proposed World Gateway terminal expansion. No comment from Mayor Daley.
High school seniors in Illinois scored below the national average last year on those ACT tests. State officials say the lower scores were expected because all seniors were required to take the test last year. Previously, only college-bound students were required to take it.
Starting tomorrow, Roman Catholics in the Chicago Archdiocese can make donations online or even pay their children's Catholic school tuition. The website address is payparish.com. You can read more on these and other stories in tomorrow's Chicago Sun-Times.
Why would two teenagers want to divorce their own mother?
Still ahead on Fox News Chicago, the lifestyle clash that sent a fractured family to a judge and the agreement that's bringing them back together.
I'm Corey McFerrin. A bit later in sports, they're giving away money at Hallis Hall, but what about linebacker Rosie Colvin? And it's showtime. Check this out. A 15-year-old West Suburbanite making history in canine frisbee.
So you have a nice English tutor in the suburbs and you want a nice garden in front of it and you don't want to pay for it? If you're the mayor of the suburb, you have the taxpayers pay for it. I'll explain in a few minutes in Perspective.
What if you could plan the perfect escape? You'd have to be able to go anywhere at a moment's notice. You'd have to have more than enough room to operate in. And of course, you'd need to make a smooth getaway. Nothing can be equipped with more ways to escape than Ford Escape, because versatility should have no boundaries.
Create a stylish walk, patio, or driveway with cobblestone concrete pavers from Menards. Small pavers are 29 cents each, large size 39 cents. Or how about these 16 by 16-inch diamond pavers, just $1.97 each. Create a secure kennel with Master Helco. Pre-assembled panels just fold together. A 6-foot-tall, 6x6 kennel is on sale, $119. From cobbles to kennels. Save at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
Rattle, rattle, thunder, clatter, boom, boom, boom.
CarX, more than you thought, for less than you'd think.
Don't worry, call the CarX man.
Never pay for brake shoes or pads again with Brakes for Life, only from CarX.
For the last time, just because we had a Smithfield ham for dinner doesn't mean it's Christmas. Now knock it off.
Legendary Smithfield hams. Delicious any time of year.
I'll take it.
That's great. I'll go get you.
No. I want this one.
That's the demo.
I want this one.
Introducing Tool Territory. With hands-on tool displays, it's America's best tool store. Sears. Where else?
In Texas, a judge has denied a request from two daughters to divorce themselves from their lesbian mother. The sisters, aged 16 and 17, filed a petition last month seeking control of where they live. They said they could no longer tolerate their mother's lifestyle. But in court yesterday, Kim LaGreen says she and her daughters have reached an agreement.
My agreement is not to show any type of homosexual lifestyle in front of my kids or to do anything that makes them feel uncomfortable concerning the gay lifestyle.
In exchange, her daughters have agreed to stop attending the Body of Christ Ministry Church. We have a story tonight about landscaping, suburban style, some scruffy old trees and a patch of weeds transformed into a beautiful garden in Walter's Perspective.
Nancy, it's a story about a garden that no matter how you look at it, it just doesn't look right. I've looked at it half a dozen different ways, and it still doesn't look right. So how about you having a look? Here, in the western suburb of North Riverside. It is beautiful, isn't it? I think it is, these new grassy plants, thousands of them, and the new chips of bark, and the brand new trees. The old trees that I mentioned, a dozen of them at least, have been cut down for this garden and to make for a better view of a creek that's rippling through the neighborhood, right smack directly in front of this English Tudor on 19th Avenue in North Riverside, which just happens to be where Richard Scheck lives, who just happens to be the mayor of North Riverside. A little landscaping dream, done and paid for, thank you, by the taxpayers of North Riverside, $21,000. Sally France is a taxpayer, and she says it doesn't look right to her either.
I think the mayor's doing it to beautify his house. And, you know, I'd like that done to my house too, but I'm sure the taxpayers wouldn't allow that to happen.
And if the taxpayers had known about it, they'd likely not allowed this to happen, a $21,000 garden for Mayor Scheck to wake up to in the morning. His public works director says the reason for the garden is to protect 19th Avenue from an erosion problem. You see this crack in the avenue, he says, we think maybe it's caused by erosion. But, he admits, he's not sure of what he thinks because the avenue is 40 years old, and maybe the crack is caused by wear and tear, and maybe there is no erosion problem. And he admits, the mayor's public works director, that 19th Avenue may last 15 or 20 more years.
I think the taxpayers' money should have gone maybe to better a park for the kids.
It seems like maybe North Riverside thinks it too. When our Fox News cameraman came by to take pictures, the North Riverside police came by as well. And not just police on patrol, but the police chief in person. And he advised Sally France to mind her own business.
I could be charged with disorderly conduct if I take pictures and alarm people.
That's what she says she was told by the chief. Never mind the mayor's garden for $21,000. Also, never mind that the only person who says there's an erosion problem, other than the mayor's public works director, is the landscaper who planted the garden for $21,000. Bottom line, lucky for Mayor Scheck having a new garden in front of his house. Unlucky for his constituents who are paying for it.
And there's much more still to come on Fox News Chicago.
They just kind of blew up, and it was just all so fast.
Coming up, a young man from Crystal Lake sets his sights on stardom, thanks in part to American Idol. We'll talk to him next.
Opportunities are everywhere.
Come on, sweetie, let's go.
If you know where to look. Like at the Lexus Golden Opportunity, where you'll find special values on all your favorite vehicles. Don't let this one slip through your fingers. See your Chicago area Lexus dealer.
She's the world's biggest superstar.
She's magnificent.
Unreal.
Breathtaking. She's come from seemingly nowhere.
Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Trancy.
Gene Shalit calls Al Pacino the perfect fit for this visionary comedy.
That's wonderful.
And Rolling Stone says Al Pacino fires on all cylinders.
Simone appears only when I want her to appear.
Al Pacino.
I love you, L.A.
Perfect. Simone, rated PG-13. Virtually everywhere this Friday.
Hi, can I help you?
What's a Mediterranean chicken sub?
Let me tell you.
It's roasted chicken breast, feta cheese, fresh veggies, Greek dressing, fresh baked bread. It's the Mediterranean chicken breast sub. You're gonna love it. Opa!
Go for a six-pack tonight. Pick up 6 of your favorite regular Subway 6-inch sandwiches in the new Subway 6-pack for just $12.99.
Subway. Eat fresh.
Sorry, I got that receipt in here somewhere. Driver's license, bus transfer, $1 off fish sticks.
Actually?
Floss. Just in case. Movie stub, mint.
Actually, we keep everything right here, just in case.
Right. Just in case.
People lose stuff. That's why we can store purchase and warranty information automatically, so you won't have to search anymore. Circuit City, we're with you.
Floss? Who flosses anyway?
I floss.
I floss too.
Well, aren't we feeling grown up today?
The all-new 2003 Lincoln Navigator. There are those who travel and those who travel well.
Only 4 finalists remain on Fox's hit talent show called American Idol.
Tomorrow, another contestant gets booted, joining the 6 others in the top 10 who've already been voted out, including Chicago's own Jim Veraros. The 19-year-old placed 9th and then came home to northwest suburban Crystal Lake. Still, Veraros hasn't given up on the fame game. Tonight in the Fox Focus, our Mark Saxenmeyer catches up with Jim before he makes a permanent move to Hollywood.
Congratulations, you're going on!
Thank you. You will not be disappointed.
Everybody wants me to be what they want me to be. I'm not happy when I try to fake it.
Jim Veraros' life might truly be made for Hollywood. He was born to deaf parents.
She'd always watch the audience to see their reaction when I performed. I'm very proud of them. Very proud.
And he grew up a chubby child.
After I lost my weight, I was like, oh my God, I have a jawline. This is amazing.
And then came a simple audition for what could have been a quickly canceled TV show and an instant LA makeover.
And then like I just kind of blew up, and it was just all so fast.
Publicity shoots, magazine covers, and a millionaire's mansion to romp around in. But then it all came crashing down rather quickly.
I didn't think I was bad. I thought I thought I was okay.
That was not really good at all. That was really bad.
And I think if you win this competition, we would have failed.
Thank you.
So I'm sorry.
I was like, oh, that sucks, but I wasn't like I'm gonna cry.
But then he'd read nasty and just plain cruel postings in the American Idol computer chat rooms.
Like, people ripped me apart. Like, I actually got hate emails. Like, it was that bad. I was really upset because, you know, you're just a person who's just trying to live out his dream, and people hate you for no reason. So I had to get over it real quick.
And he knows that fame can be fleeting. At an appearance with other Idol semifinalists in Gary, Indiana this past weekend, only a smattering of people showed up.
Is your fan base, though, like 12-year-old girls?
Probably a little bit. But then, you know, I reach out to criminals, too. I actually just got a fan mail letter the other day from an arsonist who's facing 1 to 10 years in jail. So I'm glad that I can touch others' hearts as well.
In a restless world.
Jim will appear on American Idol's finale and will sing with the other finalists on a CD to be released September 8th. Then an Idol tour may follow, if there's enough interest.
If you could see your career in 5 years, where would you be?
In Los Angeles, reading a new script for my own sitcom.
We're very proud of you.
Continue to grow. I'll be very disappointed if you give up now.
I'm not saying I'm not going to just land something right away, but I'll have a feeling that things might come a little quicker than it would be for another person.
A star is born.
Okay, how about just one verse of your favorite Paula Abdul song for us?
Straight up now, tell me, do you really want to love me forever? Oh, oh, oh. Or am I caught in a hit and run?
Well, I think that was good, but again, we have to remember we are looking for the American Idol here.
You know what I think? I think you should get the out of my house right now, okay? Get the out. Get out.
Mark Saxenmeyer, Fox News.
Somehow we don't think that's a first for Mark. For the record, Jim says his favorite among the final 4 contestants is Tamira. He also thinks she will be the eventual winner.
We are getting new information now on the breaking story we reported at the beginning of this newscast. Reports of a threat on the life of Mayor Daley. Our Lilia Chacon is live at police headquarters with an update and comments from the mayor's office.
Yes, Walter, Chicago police are confirming they're investigating a threat made against the life of Mayor Richard Daley. As we reported earlier in the newscast, the threat appears to have come from New York, but we don't know if it was a phone call, a letter, or an email. Tonight we have late word from Jacqueline Hurd, the mayor's press secretary, who says this is no big deal. There are threats made against the mayor's life all the time. However, the police here are taking this threat seriously. We hope to catch up with the mayor sometime tomorrow and find out how he feels feels about all of this. Live here at police headquarters, Lilia Chacon, Fox News Chicago.
All right, Lil, thanks for that update. We also have a developing story tonight on the investigation into the September 11th attacks. The FBI has issued a worldwide bulletin seeking the arrest of a Saudi man who's been identified as a suspected associate of the hijackers. The bulletin names a 21-year-old man named Saud al-Rashid, who authorities say should be considered armed and dangerous. It's not believed, however, that he's in the United States at this time.
Time for a break, and when we come back, we'll have the results of our Voice Your Choice.
First, Corey McFerrin joins us with a look ahead. Sports.
Okay, Nancy, coming up, linebacker Rosie Colvin's the only starter on the Bears who doesn't have a deal beyond this year. Is he ticked? That's a good question. Another might be, did Sammy hit one tonight? Well, here's one guy you did. Todd Hundley admiring his work in Houston tonight. Highlights ahead.
How many reasons do you need to get into Jeep Grand Cherokee? How about zero? Because now for a limited time, you can get 0% financing for 60 months on a rugged yet luxurious 2002 Grand Cherokee, which could save you up to $6,800 in finance charges on select Grand Cherokees. Plus, to make this great offer even better, it's backed by the security of our 770 powertrain limited warranty. So get to your Jeep dealer today. There's no reason not to. Check it out today.
Carl. Give me those. Ah! Ow.
If you want the best picture and sound, you want DVDs. And now Blockbuster has a better way to buy them. Rent one. And if you like it, you can buy a previously viewed DVD of the same title later for just $9.99. So rent it, like it, buy it at Blockbuster.
I'm out of here, Mom. Don't forget some breakfast.
There is another way to get nutrition at breakfast.
Whoa, nice arm. Gotta run.
The nutrition you get from cereal and real milk.
All right, Grandma.
We'll just get something on the way, hon.
Excellent.
Milk and cereal bars. Milk and cereal nutrition now in a great tasting bar.
Mom, you are good.
Milk and cereal bars. Everything but the mold.
Can't resist playing around with stuff? Well, at Best Buy, you can play around with anything you want. Actually, we encourage it. Best Buy. Go ahead. Turn on the fun.
The case is murder. What happened? His son's the suspect.
I didn't shoot that cop.
Joey, the only thing that matters,
You know who I am?
is getting to him first.
I know what could happen to Joey if the wrong cop got there ahead of me.
Academy Award winner Robert De Niro. Academy Award winner Frances McDormand. And Golden Globe winner James Franco.
Anything happens to him, then you'll answer to me.
City by the Sea. Rated R. Starts Friday, September 6th.
During the Dodge summer clearance, we can give you thousands of reasons to drive a new Dodge. Or we can give you zero. Because there's only one thing better than getting 0% financing for up to 60 months on select Dodge vehicles. It's getting 0% financing and our 7-year or 70,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. Something you don't get from Ford, Chevy, Honda, or Toyota. 0% financing and our 770 warranty. More than enough reason to get to the Dodge summer clearance.
This portion of Fox Sports is brought to you by Dodge.
Before we continue, we need to correct some information that we gave you earlier in this newscast. The website where Roman Catholics can make donations or payments to the Chicago Archdiocese is parishpay.com. Cleared that up.
Even though they're having a bad year, somehow the Cubs are fun to watch. No?
Well, you know, there are two words, Sammy Sosa, right about now. You know what I'm saying? The strike cloud hovers above us. The Cubs are 17 games out of first. But still, there's a reason to watch these guys. The American Idol, of course, known as Sammy Sosa, creeping closer and closer to that 500 home run club. Guy in his cell phone, thinks he's at Wrigley. Fourth inning, game tied at 7. Pinch hitter Roosevelt Brown rips one down the right field line. Moises Alou and Corey Patterson score. Cubs score 6 times, 10-7 Cubs. The bats are alive. Go to the 5th inning now, and Corey Patterson, ka-chunk time. Clubs won. Deep center field. Nobody's going to grab it. Sammy Sosa scores. Fred McGriff is in. A triple for Patterson. Sammy, 2 hits so far, both of them singles, holding firm at 43 home runs. Right now, Cubs lead 13-7. They're in the bottom of the 7th. Well, you can't beat fun at the old ballpark, even apparently when the Sox are getting their butts kicked again. For the 2nd straight day, Jock Jones gone to lead off the game. And it's over right there. Jim Parquet would give up 4 runs on 5 hits in 5+ innings. Twins showing us what a Major League Baseball team looks like. Carlos Lee slams one, but Torrey Hunter on his horse. And that's a grab, maybe the best center fielder in the game. 5-0 Minnesota. Kyle Loesch, the 4-hitter. Sox have lost 6 in a row. Well, the first potential blackout of the Bears' champagne experiment averted tonight. TCF Bank buys 1,600 tickets for Friday's game against Jacksonville, so you won't miss a thing on the tube. And neither will big Ted Washington. He'll make his preseason debut against the Jags, as will rookie DB Roosevelt Williams. Also, you will see Roosevelt Colvin in action. Rosie, the only starter remaining who isn't under contract beyond this season. Here's a guy who led the Bears with 10.5 sacks last year. What's going on? He appears destined for the free agent market.
No, it doesn't affect me because, they signed them. I'm still under contract for this year, so I'm not going to worry about it. Like I said, I'm just going to go out and play football, and whatever happens, happens.
To me, keeping all the same players together helps your team. The longer guys play together, the better they play together, and it's obviously a team sport, and the whole idea is to win games. And I feel the longer guys play together, the more chance you have of winning.
And he's right. Get Rosie signed. Dustin Ward beats out John Butcher for the starting quarterback spot at Illinois. The Portland Trail Blazers have waived Sean Kemp. And finally, we've all tossed a Frisbee around at one time or another. Maybe we've even played catch with our dog. But probably not quite like Lombard's Jessica Ritchie and her dog, Zoe.
Come, front. Stay.
Jessica Ritchie's 15 years old. Her dog Zoe is 8. They've been practicing Frisbee tricks and tosses since Zoe was a puppy. And earlier this summer, they qualified for the Canine Frisbee World Championships in Atlanta. Jess, the youngest qualifier in the 30-year history of the event. And she gives her faithful and friendly Border Collie the bulk of the credit.
Zoe has a ton of spirit, and she's so much fun. She has a heart that's just as big as the sun. She's so awesome to work with. So I think that really helps. So, yes.
Good dog, such a good dog. The great thing about Zoe is she loves this. I mean, she'll even play with me. You want to go? Let's try one. Here we go. And I have no idea what I'm doing. Here we go. Long toss. Here we go. Oh, unbelievable.
She's like my soulmate. She's awesome. She does everything I want her to. We're together all the time. She sleeps with me in my bed. I mean, she's so cool. And I think of that, too, just the connection and just our friendship, our relationship throughout the years. So it all means a lot to me. It really does.
Very good dog, huh? Yeah.
Zoe, Jessica says, is her best friend, bar none.
Did you see him eyeing that popsicle?
He was going
so
after.
I call it a treat. Thank you, Corey.
Now the results of our Voice Your Choice tonight, the question being, it's concerning a local company that makes cremated remains and makes them into diamonds. And we asked, would you want your remains made into diamonds after your death? And here's what you tell us. 65% of you say yes, you would. 35% of you say no, you would not. Thank you for letting us know what you think.
And that's our news for tonight. Thanks for watching, everyone.
Fox News returns tomorrow morning at 5. Good night.
Closed captioning of Fox News Chicago is brought to you by Dodge.
A new Sears is coming to your neighborhood with a fresh look you have to see. Wider aisles, centralized checkout, shopping carts. It all adds up to a new way to look at the great brands you know, and some that may surprise you.
The grand opening celebration continues this Saturday at Sears in North Riverside Park Mall. And meet Brandon Walker from Days of Our Lives from 1:30 to 3:30 p.m. Sears, where else?
Now there's a paint can that's as great as the paint that's in it. Introducing the new Twist and Pour container, only from Dutch Boy. Easy to hold, easy to open, easy to pour. For a neat new way to paint, the new Twist and Pour container, only from Dutch Boy. For a Dutch Boy Twist and Pour paint retailer near you, visit DutchBoy.com.
Know your priorities. Cool brands, very cool prices. TJ Maxx, you should go.
Ford authorized clearance.
Will punch